conversation with a potential business client or partner, or perhaps you are just curious about what are the secrets to keeping a coffee chat focused, and how do I turn this coffee chat into a business relationship? Well, if you are ready to master how to gracefully create a coffee chat, navigate a coffee chat, and end a coffee chat, this is the session for you. So, today we're going to be talking about how to engage in a coffee chat. What are the things that you need to say? How do you start it? How do you keep it going? And we're going to also give you some verbiage to use as you are participating in these coffee chats. So, I've done hundreds, if not thousands, of coffee chats. And in the beginning, I was not good at it. I was not good at it. But the more I did it, the better I became at it. So I want to share with you some of the strategies that I use, some of the little secrets that help to really allow you to show up as a professional, but not so professional that people can't see your authentic self. So let's have a conversation. So let me tell you how this is going to go. First, I'm going to give you the steps. So some people just want the steps; they can figure out the verbatim on their own or the verbiage on their own. And then after I give you the steps, I'm going to give you real examples of some of the things that I say and some of those phrases that I keep in my pocket just so that I know how to move the conversation to the next level. So that's how this is going to work out. If you're with me live, give me a hey, what's up, what's going on. If you're catching this in the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And if you know, I'm streaming live on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. So let me know that you're joining me and give me a hey. If you have a question, put it in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer. And today, which is like day number 21, hey there. What is that? JR's Roasted Coffee. Hey, how are you today? Thank you for joining. So we're going to talk about how to have effective coffee chats and how to navigate these coffee chats so that you can turn those business connections into actual relationships and contracts. We're not just trying to just have just relationships, but we also want to have those turn into contracts. Hey, Emerson Nicole. Hey, how are you? Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do so of course you got to have a Calendly link. Let's start there. You can't have a coffee chat without the Calendly link. Whatever you're using, maybe you use Squarespace, maybe you use something else. But the name of the link is you should name it a coffee chat because that lets people know that I'm not getting on a call trying to sell something to you. So that's really important that you allow people to know I want to get to learn more about your business and I'm not just trying to sell something to you. I just got off of a coffee chat. So I've been going live every day in the month of April. And the reason why I'm a little late getting to this and doing my live today is because I was on a coffee chat. Well, the coffee chat went so good. It was supposed to be 30 minutes. We were on that call for almost an hour and a half. Okay. So that's when you know the coffee chat went really well. But you also want to be respectful of people's time. So we're going to talk about that. But I'm going to let you know. Like the first thing we want to do is make sure that we have a link that says coffee chat or getting to know you or whatever you title it. It should indicate that this is not about selling you something. Coffee chats are about building relationships. It's no different than if you were taking someone out for coffee. Think about that. If we were going out for coffee, when you go out to get coffee, you don't have a lot of time to get to do a lot of stuff because you're literally drinking a cup of coffee. So it's really to get to know the person. It's to get to know who they are, what they do, what their business is about, and how you all might be able to support one another. That is the purpose of the coffee chat. Just like if you were to take them out to coffee, the only difference is you're in one state, they're likely in another state, and you all are doing it virtually as opposed to in person. Okay. So you have a link that says coffee chat, getting to know you, or something like that. You send that to them. So how do we even get to the point of sending the link? Okay, so let me back up because I want to make sure I'm not skipping steps. So when you meet someone, maybe you're meeting them in a professional setting, maybe you're meeting them in a leisure setting, and you all seem to be aligned in some thoughts or some ideas, or you see some potential for you all to maybe be able to connect on something. You're having a great conversation. So like for me, I was having a conversation with someone about a trip that I took, and on that trip we had a really good time, and the person was saying how they had been there before too. And then we started, talking a little bit about our business, but we can't just stay talking about our business when we're not in business setting. So I was like, we should do a coffee chat. I'm going to send you my link so that we can set up a coffee chat so we can get to know more about each other's businesses and see how we might be able to support one another. And so I got her phone number and then I sent her the link to my coffee chat. She scheduled the coffee chat. Okay, so it's as simple as that. All you have to say is, hey, we should do a coffee chat. Most people know what a coffee chat is. Okay, so now that that's done, you have the link completed, you have it created, you have your schedule in there so that it's not double booking you, and you're ready to start offering to do coffee chats. Well, if you're a little nervous about what you would say on the coffee chat, let me help you with that. First of all, you got to know how you're going to start the conversation. Again, I'm giving you the steps first, and then I'll give you direct examples. So you want to be able to start the conversation first. So you want to know exactly what it is that you're going to say when they come on the line. You shouldn't be stuttering and stammering and trying to figure out, well, how do I start the conversation? So these are things that you should already have at the tip of your tongue, okay? And then the next thing I want you to know is you got to keep it casual. Just like if you were going to invite someone out to coffee, you wouldn't be high sprung, super excited and all that. It's like, hey, how are you? So you want to have a relaxed atmosphere. You want to be really friendly, but you don't want to be overly formal or overly corporate. And you don't want to use all that business focused dialogue. Those are mistakes that people make when they're doing a coffee chat. That's why we're inviting you to coffee, because we don't have to be so businessified when we're going out for coffee. We're going out to have a friendly, relaxed atmosphere. And while it is business oriented, that's secondary. The goal is to get to know one another. And so you want to create that atmosphere mainly by asking open-ended questions and not just sitting there wanting to talk about yourself. You got to show genuine interest in what that person is saying, and be willing to allow them to talk. Sometimes we get so busy trying to tell people what we do when really we need to stop and listen to what other people do. And then you steer the conversation by asking questions. Another way that I want you to write down about how you steer the conversation, you can either offer guidance on something, or you can ask for guidance on something without dismissing what it is they've already done. So it's really important that on coffee chats that you are actually actively listening and that you are asking insightful follow-up questions. That's going to be really important in order for you to have that natural flow. Now, keep in mind that coffee chats are not long. There's 20, 30 minutes. 30 minutes is the max, okay? 30 minutes is the max. And so then you're going to wrap up that chat. How do you wrap it up? You have to have a way that you end the conversation gracefully while also giving them next steps. So they need to be clear on what the next steps are and what the next steps are for. And so you also want to discuss the opportunity to maintain this connection beyond the coffee chat. So you did the coffee chat to meet the person, to get to learn more about them. Now let's establish what we're going to do beyond this. Are we going to follow up and meet every quarter, stay in touch? Or are you going to send a personalized message? And I'll give you some examples of some of the things that I do. And then the next thing I want you to do, I want you to compile a list of key phrases and expressions that you use that are going to help you to navigate in this coffee chat from your introductions to your closing remarks, okay? Because while it is still business, it should also be very friendly and very relaxed. So now I'm going to give you some examples. So like when I start my coffee chat, So I give them the link, they schedule it, and I'm online. Mine is normally done through a Zoom. I'm online and they come online, and immediately I say, "Hey there, hey, what's going on? How are you?" You see how I'm starting out in a very friendly, non-professional, not that corporate. "Hello there, how are you?" We're not doing that, okay? And so I say something like, "How's your day going so far?" And that gets them to talking. So when the coffee chat starts, we're on Zoom, we get started, they click on, and as soon as I see that their audio is connected, I'm saying, "Hey, hey there, how are you? How's your day going so far?" And then they begin to talk. And then once they get through saying what they're going to say, they will typically ask me how my day is going. And I will say, "I'm having a really great day. Everything is going well. And I'm super excited to be able to chat with you today." These are key phrases that I use on every coffee chat. Like, you don't have to come up with new lines each time. And then, you want to have some open ended questions, because after I respond back, "Oh, my day is going really well. Things are going just as I planned. It's been a great day. I'm super excited to speak with you." Well, now we're at dead space, right? Because they said something, I said something, we don't know each other or anything like that. So then I'm going to say something like, "So, okay, so tell me a little bit about what it is you do. Tell me a little bit about your business." And they're going to get to talking. They're going to start telling me about their business. And they're going to tell me stuff, and I'm going to be actively listening. I'm not listening to respond. I am actively listening. And so as I'm actively listening, there, and more than likely they're going to say, "Would you tell me a little bit about yours?" But I'm going to point out some things that I heard that they said. I'm going to tell them, "That's super exciting, the work that you're doing. I'm so thankful that you have taken on this mission. That is really good work." I'm going to give them some feedback to let them know, "I heard you and I appreciate the work, the good work that you're doing." And so then I'm going to tell them about my business. This is where you have to be really clear and concise. It should not take you 10 minutes to tell someone about your business. This is where the problem comes in. We're not clear and concise about our business. We can't sum up really quickly what it is we do, why it is we love doing it, and what it is that you want to move towards. So I might say, "Well, I used to be an educator. So I was an educator for 17 years. And at 42 years old, I decided to quit my job and start my own consulting business." Well, when I did that, I had three kids at home, an 8-year old, a 9-year old, and a 14-year old. So I didn't have a choice but to make this work. So now here we are, 8 years later. I am living the life of my dreams. I'm absolutely loving the business that I've created, and I've been able to help over 300 women to also make a decision about their life and create the life of their dreams. Many of them have started the entrepreneurial journey, or have at least moved from the job that they're at that may have been toxic or not serving them to the next level. And so now I'm looking to do a little bit more public speaking, because I have learned that a lot of people are looking for this message, because there are a lot of people who are in midlife who realize that their dream is turned into a nightmare. And so I want to encourage them and empower them and give them steps of how to move forward. So I want to speak to women who are in midlife looking to live their dream life. You see how I told them exactly what I do, how it is I got there. I did all of that in less than 2 minutes. That's what you have to do. And so you have to rehearse that. You have to get that together. So when someone asks you, "What do you just go with that old, I help blank, do blank, buy blank?" That is not interesting. That's not entertaining. You need to give a quick part of your story. You need to tell exactly, concisely what it is you do and what it is you're trying to get into, because you're on this coffee chat in order to build a relationship or to figure out how we might be able to work together. So because I am looking to get more speaking gigs, I'm putting that right out on the table. I'm letting them know, this is how I got here. This is what my business is, but this is also what I'm looking to do now. So now they know that they can either help to introduce me to educators who are looking to leave the school system, or they can help me in my pursuit of speaking engagements that are paid. So again, then the next thing you want to talk, you might want to ask them about some of their hobbies. Maybe you got to know or look at their website or something, because I definitely would recommend checking them out to see who they are and what it is they do by looking at their website or whatever link they provided to you. And then you want to see if you have any common ground. So you might say, for example, I noticed that we both share an interest in the arts, or I noticed that you have dogs. That's always one for me because I have two big dogs. And so animal lovers, we normally can connect on that. So you have to find something that you all have a shared interest in. You might ask them, what are some hobbies that you have? And they may share the hobbies with you. So you want to keep it casual. You want to keep the atmosphere relaxed. You want to lighten the mood. You can inject some humor in it. One of the things that I don't, well, I won't say that I don't. I do sometimes comment about the weather because it's been crazy. Like, weather has been really crazy. So I will say that sometimes I will say, can you believe how unpredictable the weather has been lately? Like, yes, the other day we were at 90 degrees and then we were at 50 the next day and we had a near tornado. It was crazy. So, you might have something that you say like that, but you definitely want to have something where you can inject a little humor. You definitely want to stay away from politics and religion. Don't say anything about politics. Don't say anything about religion. Don't say anything about these conflicts that are happening. That's too much too soon. That's not what we're doing. And then you want to have some genuine interest in something that they're doing. So you want to show some curiosity. People, curiosity is the word that I need you to understand. You want to be curious about their business, about their work, about them. And there's a difference between being curious and being nosy. I just want to point that out. Those are two totally different things, okay? You want to maybe ask follow-up questions. One of the things that I will say, that is really fascinating. Can you tell me more about that? Write these phrases down. I'm giving you real phrases that you can use. That's fascinating. Can you tell me more about that? I'm showing interest. I'm showing curiosity. I'm not asking you questions about the thing. I am showing curiosity. That's fascinating. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? And then they begin to tell me a little bit more about it. They're talking about something that they love, something that they're interested in. So obviously, when they get off the call, they're going to feel like this was a really good call. And then if you have something personal that you can share, you might say, I recently tried funny story. Here's a funny story. I recently tried XYZ. I might say, here's a funny story. I recently tried hiking in a national park. It looked like it was not a long path, but halfway through, I thought I was going to pass out. Well, if they are hikers, they'll be able to relate to what I'm saying. So you want to know that you are adding things of value and things that will allow you all to connect. But again, one of my key phrases is, that's really interesting. That's fascinating. Can you tell me more about that? Y'all need to have these catchphrases in your pocket so that you can keep the conversation going, because you need to be able to steer the conversation in the way that it needs to go in order for the person to feel heard and seen, and in order for you to feel like you led the discussion the way that you needed it to go. So then, like, when I summarize something that they say, I'll say, oh, so you're saying you do XYZ. Did I get that right? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. But I also want to think about the balance of the time. Am I talking more than them, or they talking more than me? I want to balance it. It shouldn't be a one-sided conversation. You should be talking and they should be talking. But if you find that you're talking 80% of the time, you need to stop. So how do I end the discussion? First of all, I end the conversation always on a positive note by expressing gratitude for the opportunity to connect, because I really appreciate that you took time out of your day to meet with me. I just want to thank you for that. So you might say something like, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I really enjoyed this conversation. I hope that we can do it again. So you're going to express some gratitude. And then when I talk about the next steps, I talked to them about, this was really great, discussing XYZ. That this was a really great discussion. Let's keep this conversation going and let's schedule a follow-up meeting. Do you mind scheduling a follow-up meeting? And on this next one, we might talk about XYZ. So I told you I just got off of a coffee chat. So my conversation was, okay, we were talking about a retreat. And I was like, this is really great. I so enjoyed this. This is right up my alley. How about I send you a link and let's get our next meeting scheduled so we can come back to explore the location. Let's talk about the location. And so we've already went to the scheduling of the next meeting for the coffee chat, because you got to know and direct them to their next steps. And then you want to make sure that you're saying something to the effect of, I'd love to stay in contact and continue our conversation. Let's schedule our next meeting. Feel free to reach out anytime. Girl, let me make sure you got my cell phone number so that you can text me, because some people like to text more than they like to sit on a coffee chat. So you're opening the door for them. So some of the catchphrases that you want to use in or have in your back pocket. And one of the things that I do, let me show you one of the things that I do. I have little post-it notes that are stuck to my computer. And this is for my introverts. I have little post-it notes with like little catchphrases on it. I had a similar experience so when they say something, I know what my next thing is going to be. I appreciate your insights on whatever they said. Y'all better write this down. I'm giving you gold. Like, some of y'all gonna go out and pay people to teach you how to do this, and I'm teaching you how to do it for absolutely free. All you got to do is take 20, 30 minutes out of your day to listen to this live, because I'm walking you through it. When I say I do a lot of coffee chats and I'm a 100% introvert, I do a lot of coffee chats. I had no choice but to perfect this, because other than that, I wouldn't be able to bring the level of business into my business. I wouldn't be able to connect with the people who are at the next level, and I wouldn't be able to work through and into bigger ideas, because I would only stay in the group of people who are just like me. So I'm telling you, these strategies work. I say things like, I love your perspective on, like I just talked to the person, and she's planning a retreat. I was like, I love your perspective on how to do X. And she was more than happy to share that. So write these things down. And then I also say, I always say, if there's anything I can do to support you, feel free to reach out. Let me know. I'm more than happy to assist you. It was a pleasure chatting with you today. I definitely want to stay in touch. I so enjoyed this conversation. And just be genuine, people. Be genuine. And again, people work with people that they like. People work with people that they like. And just like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, your personality determines your personal reality. We got to stop being so buttoned up. We got to stop thinking that everything is business and professional, and you got to speak the queen's English, and you got to be perfect. Those are limitations that you're putting on yourself. People want you to show up as a real person. People want you to care about what it is that they're doing and show interest in them. And people want to know that you're not just out trying to make money off their back. If you can demonstrate that doing a coffee chat, people will be more than happy to work with you. People will be more than happy to refer people to you. And because they've been on a coffee chat with you, they are more than happy to mention your name in rooms that you've never been into and make opportunities available to you that no degree or time on job will make available to you. So I hope this has been helpful for somebody today. Yesterday, we did how to build online relationships. And I told you all today I would come back to do that. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go over there, give me a like, give me a share, give me a comment. Y'all, I'm at 300 subscribers. I got to get to 500 subscribers. Y'all can help me do this. Why y'all won't help me? Why won't you help me? All right, so y'all have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow as I